Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. For today, I'm going to be showing you how to make this really simple birthday card. The last card that I did was that shaker card with the Jar of Love set. So that one was a little bit more complicated, so I wanted to bring it back and bring something different and just do a really simple, quick and easy birthday card. So I absolutely love this. I think I've said it a couple times before, but I'm obsessed with hot air balloons, so I absolutely love this card. To make this one, we don't need a whole lot of supplies. You are going to need the Summer Sorbet set, and this one is a red rubber set. And it has these really awesome 5 really nice just images, and I really like it. So the only downfall to this set is that it is only images. So you do have to bring in something that has a sentiment on it. So I'm going to be using the Feather Together stamp set and this happy birthday. I'm actually going to be doing a card using just this stamp set here and in the next couple of days as well. So you'll be seeing this one again, but today we're just going to be using the sentiment, the happy birthday sentiment. You could do happy birthday to a true gentleman. I'm obviously doing this in pink, so I don't know if that would be the most appropriate, but if you wanted to do it different, if you wanted to do it in like Dapper Denim, I think would be really pretty with a crumb cake, or any masculine color would work well. And then you could pick the heart, you could do the hot air balloon, you could do the snow cone if it's like for a little boy. I think that would be super cute. So those are the 2 stamp sets that we're going to be using. So again, Feather Together and Summer Sorbet. We're only going to be using Flirty Flamingo ink for today, so you only need 1 ink pad. So this one's really, really nice because you don't need a lot of supplies. We are going to be using the lace trim. I've had this, I got this with the first order that I got from the new catalog, and I've been dying to find something to use it on. So I went ahead and added just a little accent to this card because it is so monochromatic. I wanted to add a nice little embellishment, and I think the bow looks really nice. And then the only other supplies that we're going to need for today is going to be our paper. So for this card, if you can see, it's a portrait style card, but it folds up. So to do that, we're going to need a different size piece of paper for our base layer. So this one is cut at 11 by 4 1/4, and then when we fold it, it'll make our A2 size card. And this is in crumb cake. I don't know if I said that. Then we need our other 2 layers of paper, and we're going to be using Flirty Flamingo, and this one is cut at 4 by 5 1/4. And then this is a piece of regular Whisper White, and this is cut at 3 3/4 by 5 inches. So let's go ahead and jump in. Okay, so to start off, we're just going to go straight into our stamping. This card is super easy. You can make this in a matter of minutes. So I'm going to pull out my Flirty Flamingo ink, and the first thing that I'm going to do is start with my sentiment. I'm going to stamp my sentiment so that I know where to place all of my other hot air balloon images so that it doesn't get too cramped. So I'm just going to ink this up. And on my paper here, I'm going to put it over to the right hand side. So I know I'm going to do it over here. I'm going to line this edge up with the right hand side of my card. And I want it almost in the center. When you actually finish the card, it doesn't look like you're stamping it in the center, but it's pretty close to the center. So that's where I chose to stamp mine. As usual, I'm going to clean my stamp really fast. Go. And now I'm going to take my hot air balloon, and as you see, I have a piece of this is just regular copy paper down here, a piece of scratch paper, whatever. This is the one that I used for my sample cards. As you guys can see, it's awfully messy. I reuse them over and over again, but I like to keep it as clean as I can in video. So I just grabbed a piece of copy paper, a clean piece. And the way that I like to do this, and I'm actually going to switch these because it'll be a little bit easier. I'm left-handed, so the way that I like to do this is you really have one main focal image, and that's this one right here. So it's right above the happy. And again, you can do this however you want to. This is just how I decided to do this. So I'm going to take my hot air balloon stamp, and I'm going to stamp it right above the happy. just like that. And that's really my main focal image. And then I'm going to kind of build off of that. And then this is where it gets kind of fun. You can just do whatever you want. Most of them are going to be stamped off a smidge. So that's why we have our paper. And I just do all around. And then I'll probably do one right there. And I think that's it. So let me just get my stamps over here. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do, but okay. Okay, so we're done with our ink. That's the only stamping. And now we're just gonna kind of start putting this card together. So the next thing I'm gonna do is grab my scissors. And I'm just going to lay out a piece of this lace trim, and I just want a little bit on either side. We're going to do the cheater method, so you don't have to really get too precise. You just need enough on either side where you can tape it on the back. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to just grab my little piece here. So I'm basically taking my lace trim and I'm centering it between the bottom of the birthday and the base of my card, or the bottom of my piece of paper, and that looks good to me. So I'm just going to flip it over and, whoops, tape our little edges down. And if it looks a little wonky, if you kind of messed it up a little bit, you can move it around and it's good. Okay, so now we have that. I'm going to set that off to the side just momentarily. And now I'm going to take my lace trim again. And while this is still on the roll, if you're not comfortable doing this, making a bow while it's still on the roll, just cut a piece off. You probably only need a couple inches. You don't need a lot of the ribbon lace for this. But I'm going to just create a little simple bow. And just like this. I just like to do it on the roll because I feel like I use a little bit less if I do it this way. And once you do it a couple of times, it's really not that hard. And then all you need to do is just cut it off of the roll. I like to trim the edges a little bit, or the ends a little bit, just to make them a little bit more even and so they're not so large. And as you can see, this is the only piece of lace that I'm going to throw away. So there's very minimal waste if you do it that way. But again, do it however you're comfortable with, whatever feels good for you. So now I'm going to take my little bow and I'm actually going to grab my fast fuse. A lot of people use glue dots to put down bows and stuff like that. I found recently that I really like using fast fuse to do that. And the reason is that I can just put down some fast fuse and stick it on. I don't have to roll a little glue dot. I don't have to do that whole thing. I just stick it on and it's there and it's super easy. So use whatever adhesive you're comfortable with using and whichever one you have on hand, whatever works best for you, use that. I'm just going to be using fast fuse. So I'm going to kind of gauge where I want my little bow and I'm just going to put my fast fuse down. And I go over it a couple times because it is lace, so you do have to kind of get it through there. But once you take your bow and stick it right down, and the fast fuse helps a little bit too because you can kind of position where you want your bow to be a little bit more. It's super simple and that's all you have to do. So now what I'm going to do is set this off to the side for 1 second. I'm going to bring in my other 2 pieces of cardstock and I need to find my bone folder. I'm going to go ahead and take my piece of crumb cake and I'm going to fold this in half. And we're almost done, guys. This card is super quick and easy. I wanted to bring you guys an easier card because I know a lot of times my cards I like to overdo it. And I like to do different techniques and things to kind of push my boundaries and see what I can create. So sometimes they get a little crazy and complicated, but this one's super easy. If you're like the person at work that always does the birthday stuff, like the birthday celebrations, we do that at my job, and there's always one person that always has to make sure they bring the card and decorate everyone's desk. This would be awesome because you could take this and turn it into, use whatever color that person likes or whatever, and it's super easy. So all I did was I folded our piece of crumb cake in half. I adhered down the piece of Flirty Flamingo, And I just use regular adhesive for that. I use my Tombow Mono Permanent Adhesive. Use snail if you have it. Use whatever you have. If you want to use fast fuse, because that's what you have, use fast fuse. It's not a big deal. It's not going to matter one way or the other. And then I'm just going to take a bunch of dimensionals and stick those guys down. And get the little backings off of all these guys. And as you can see, I don't skimp on my dimensionals. These things are so cheap that you really can use them frivolously. You don't have to be skimpy with them. Use them. Make sure that your projects are going to stay nice and puffed up, nice and pretty. And there's that. I just stuck it on there and we're good to go. That is the card for today, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave any questions in the comments. Send me an email. Head over to my blog. It's the first link down below. You can always contact me there and I'll have all of the supplies with detailed instructions on what you need to reproduce this project. So I hope you guys are doing great and I will see you next time. Bye.